What's up, guys? It's Mike.
It's Dan.
Welcome to Beyond Science 2. And as we mentioned, when we wanted to create this channel, we want to do some discussion topics as well.
That's right.
The news just popped up on our radar today, and this is pretty interesting. There's a man
In Indonesia.
Yep.
And he claims to be 145 years old, which would make him the current documented, if his documents check out, it would make him currently the oldest living person on Earth. Documented.
Yeah.
And I say that because on your channel, you talk a lot on Beyond Science. You talk a lot about people who live to all
there
kinds of ages.
was a man who died in the early 1900s who was said to be over 250 years old.
Yeah, documented.
Documented.
Documented,
I mean, what can you really check out from documents that are hundreds of years old, right? But
right.
Documented.
Right.
But even right now, there are living people who say, like one person, I think it was a lady, she said she's 167.
Wait, where's right now? They say
now?
that?
Yeah.
Where's that?
I forgot where. And there's also another man who says he's 150 something, but they can't find the documentation for these.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that like 150 years ago, I mean, unless you're living in a very developed nation that gives you birth certificates and whatnot.
Right.
I don't even have a birth certificate.
How do you not have a birth certificate?
I was born in Chinese hospitals.
Yeah.
In a Chinese hospital. I don't have a birth certificate.
Yo, that's crazy.
I don't. So I literally.
Wait. So no one. Wait.
I
So
could be like 200.
Hold on a
You
second.
will never know.
Yo, you realize that if you had to prove your age, you couldn't do it?
Well, I have a passport.
No, that doesn't count. No. There are a lot of things that require your birth certificate.
I'm just saying, not every hospital in the world gives out birth certificates.
Okay, now that you say that, I could see that because in not just China, but like probably India, Indonesia, where this guy's from.
So I'm saying like, okay, he may have a documentation that proves he is 145, but I do not believe for a second that 145 is the oldest living being on this earth.
No, I think pales in comparison because, people, I don't know, are people gonna think that we're crazy? But I think there's people who are hundreds of years old.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
In the last video I did on Beyond Science, where if you guys want to watch it, we'll put the link up for you, about a 256-year-old man.
Yeah.
I talked about this where in the mountains of China, and this is like in China, this is not considered a fairy tale. This is not considered like, oh, hey, whatever. Like people generally, commonly accept that there are people who are hundreds of years old or even over 1,000 years old cultivating deep in the mountains, deep in the forests.
Yeah, and like you said, this isn't, it might sound hooey to people who maybe aren't Chinese, who have no idea about, cultivation is or what Qigong is. Then they're like, oh, that's hooey because, dude, we all live till 80, 90, 100, right? And then they see this, they're like, 145, oh my gosh. But for a lot of Chinese people, they're like, oh, if you understand what cultivation is, if you understand what Qigong is, which essentially slows down your metabolism. I mean, even today, right now, there's people who can say be buried alive or hold their breath underwater for days. Like that's nothing.
Well, I'm gonna do another video on Beyond Science where there's actually a news report. Okay, there's a couple of different news reports because this has kind of been catching on in the Chinese media lately, where one reporter actually went and tried to look for these people, and he came across a couple of them.
I didn't think you could
came across a couple of them, and he said they live by like a strict code.
Yeah.
They move around so much, they don't have any interaction with the people outside. He ran into a nun, a nun and her disciple, and they just move around.
Okay.
And there's specific like places they stay in, and if you want to get a hold of them, there's certain things you have to do. Like I'm not talking about like some special code or whatever. You just have to like you have to say like Namo Amitofo or like like a Buddhist saying or whatever. So they know that you're kind of like you're kind of like in the same. I guess you kind of have the same belief system.
Okay.
That's what he's saying. And he's saying he ran into some of these people who are hundreds of years old. Yeah. And there's also a documented report. This is like This is actual Chinese media. This is not like this is not like the Daily Mail or something. This is like China.
Right.
Well, it's state-controlled media, but still, it's Chinese official media.
Right.
There's another report. I haven't got to this one yet, but I just found it. I haven't really read it because it's in Chinese. I'm trying to go through it. It said they actually discover like cultivators deep in the mountains who are, again, really, really old. I forgot exactly what the age is, but people like this do exist. So I think now because there's so much we don't know about the world, we kind of generally accept one, what we can prove, right? What we can see.
Right.
And two, what is considered mainstream, right?
Right.
So this is mainstream right now. This is people who are like, okay, this is the oldest person in the world. So in your head, you're like, that's the oldest person in the world, and nobody I know can live past that. But there's so much mystery outside of what we think we know of the world. And I'm saying there's definitely more people out there who are way older than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool, like, if he is 145, I mean, look, 145 is 145. I mean,
no, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
If you are like a person who you're not a cultivator.
That's what I'm saying.
You're just a person who's living. You live to 145. That's a really outstanding life. And he even says right now, he's like, I want to die.
He's been preparing for his death since the age of 122.
Yeah.
Now, even that line itself is ridiculous. You live to 122, first of all, and then you've been waiting to die for the last 23, 24 years. Yeah. And you're just like, and he can't really see that well. He just listens to the radio all day. His friends and family, I guess, are saying he's outlived all of his siblings as well as his wives. And I'm sure
and probably some children.
Probably a bunch of children, and now his grandchildren are alive, but probably outlived his actual children. This is pretty crazy.
Right. So I mean, if you're like a normal person, like if I was a normal person, now I don't want to honestly. I mean, I don't want to live that long because I feel like it's not. I mean, it's not like the fountain of youth,
right?
Where you're like, I can remain young for like 140 odd years.
No.
I mean, a lot of things come with age, right?
No. Like when you hit like 100 years old, you think you're like, yeah, I wish I could live another 20 years. No, you're like, oh my god. I mean, they have to help feed him. I mean, like, you basically.
Yeah. So I understand what he's saying. He's like, he's really kind of sick of life. Like, I mean, you also see in like these movies and whatnot, and I also was watching like The Age of Adeline.
Okay.
What's that girl's name?
I don't remember.
The wife of Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Reese Witherspoon?
No,
Ryan Reynolds. Ava Longoria? No.
Ryan Reynolds. Blake Lively.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. One of the most atrocious things.
Why the heck did you watch it?
I watched it because I was on a plane. It was the only movie I hadn't seen.
Oh my gosh.
It was the most atrocious.
Oh my gosh.
Can I spoiler alert this for you guys?
Yeah, do it, because if it's bad, no one's going to watch it.
Alright, I'm going to spoiler alert this for you. So if you want to actually watch The Age of Adeline, I recommend you don't.
Okay.
But if you want to watch it, stop this video right here.
Okay.
So you're never gonna. What are you gonna?
I'm never gonna watch it. No.
So it's about this girl who's struck by lightning. And she stops aging, right?
Okay.
She stops aging.
Okay.
And then she literally. So before she stops aging, or no. After she stops aging, she has a life, right? She still needs to have a life.
Right.
So she meets this guy she fell in love with, and then she doesn't think he can understand her not aging because at the time people were treating her like freaks, like they would experiment on her or whatever.
Right.
Just like the X-Men, just the mutants just started coming out in the world.
She's like Captain America.
So then she left him without saying anything.
Right.
She left him. Right. So check this out. So like 60 or 40 years later.
Okay.
She's dating this guy.
Another guy.
She falls in love with him.
Right.
And this is.
All right, where's this going?
This is the other guy's son.
This sounds intriguing.
This is the other guy's son.
That's a good plot, bro. That's an interesting
No, it's
plot.
not a good. Dude, this is like a Greek tragedy.
So Ryan Reynolds dies.
No, there's no Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, the main guy dies. That she.
No, he doesn't die.
You said. Whoa.
So the son brings her home, and she sees her old lover.
No.
Who's the dad now?
No.
So, that's a Greek tragedy, my friend.
Yo, this sounds like very intriguing. You actually convinced me to go watch it now.
Oh my god, that's such a bad
Because what happens after that?
Can you imagine what happens? Think about it. Put yourself in that situation. Let's say that movie is true. Put yourself in that situation. You fell in love with a girl, all right?
Yeah.
Now it's 40 years later. You're still in love with this girl.
Right.
You are still madly in love with that girl from 40 years ago who left you for no reason.
Right.
Your son brings her home.
And she looks exactly the same. And no explanation.
What's going on in your head?
I'd be like, son, you found her. I'd be like, why did you leave?
No. Are you now gonna fight the son for the girl?
No.
But you're still in love with her.
Yeah, I would be like.
That's now your daughter-in-law.
I'd be like, no, are they married?
They're gonna get married.
They're gonna get married?
Probably, with the way the movie's going.
I'd be like, son.
I mean, it would be more messed up if he breaks up with her and dad start dating her again.
Yo, that'd be. It's crazy, man.
I'm just saying, that's a horrible movie. I felt dirty after watching that. Anyway, back to this whole age thing. I'm just saying, there's must be a lot of pain that comes with seeing all your loved ones pass away and you know, having to outlive all that. So I feel like the natural order of things, like, you know, we live till we live, and then unless you're a cultivator, you want to strive for enlightenment, whatever.
Yeah, there's a reason why you're prolonging your life. They're not just trying to enjoy what this world has. In fact, it's the opposite. They don't want what this world has. They want to they want to attain a different realm.
Yeah. So if you guys want to learn more about that, I'll put some links for you. I know it's kind of complex. I mean, but it's basically what Eastern belief systems are. Is cultivation, enlightenment. That's what it is. So we'll put some information for you guys on there as well. And let us know your thoughts on this video. Do you enjoy the discussion format that we have for you? And thank you all so much for watching this new channel. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.